Okay. So now I'm going to try and move a little bit quicker so as not to annoy you anymore. I'm going to let these edges break and not abrade them, and use my finger support to see what can be accomplished anyway. I'm real careful with this. The support is real important on this end shock, end hits. Just, again. Okay, see how curved that is? Normally you just wouldn't get anything good, and this is pretty sharp. You just normally wouldn't get anything good out of this. So I put my fingers under there, hold it all the way out here so it won't end snap. Put my finger under there and hit, and ran all the way down to there because of the finger support there. Not very useful, but it did create a ridge here, so now, there. See? Did all that. Okay. Now I'm digging in there. It looks like there was a little crack there or something right in there. It's his hump. I am going to braid that one because that's potentially a good flake. Hit that with a side. Drove it all the way down here. On a used bopper, bopper has, I don't know, I've probably been using this a year or so. The sides are harder still. So I'll just turn it on the side if I want hardness as opposed to softness. The softness, a lot of times you can drive a better flake. See that overshot? All the support. I'm trying to get a little bit closer before I go that way because of that little speed bump. Problem is, if you're not careful, man, I'm losing my motor skills because I've been hitting so much that my arm's starting to get rubber. If you're not careful, you'll do what I've done here and have this steepen up on you. It's flatter here, and it's getting steeper here. Once you get that way, you get to a diminishing return where you really can't go this way very well because it'll skate off it or it'll bulb out big. Pressure. Hope for the best. Well, I overdid that. Put a big cone in it. But again, because of that angle, it wasn't right. Like I say, it was steep up like that, so it didn't work. So, that's ugly. That's my bad. You can blame me. And we're going to leave it there to punish me for having done it. And hope that we don't further punish me by breaking off the whole thing in the middle by hitting on this end. I'm going to hit, trying to make a bevel, because if I hit on this with Cortex, this is going to blow in half right there. There's no good way. I could take this, I could braid the crap out of that, hope that it holds up to hitting it, and take and hold it like that and hold downward and do it and put a bevel. But I would just as soon do it way safer by hitting it on the side like that. That's just way safer than dealing with it any other way. Because you got about to be trying to break the thing to hit it from the side like that to break it. Okay, so this is lower now, but I'm still beveling more than I want to, so I'm losing a little bit of length. Holding this carefully back edge to where this can't push, but no squeezing anywhere in the middle. You must have support underneath so that you don't get that vibration jump thing. And so holding it down, no jumping, and I'm hitting at an angle to where it will, trying to get just right concoil. It'll hit just the right angle to where it shoots more or less straight. See how it shot in? Got a crack. Almost looks like a crack. So anyway, I see it's tearing up that edge because that edge is really thin and cortexy. When you're working off thin edges like that too, just as always, try and keep the burrs to a dull ruler. So that is chewed up and not pretty, but at least it's not thick anymore. I'm coming back this way on this piece. And I'm definitely going this way. I'm going to try and put enough pressure where it uncuts that and runs further. It's, you know, pushing it straight, not straight in, but no crack coming to there. The crazy thing about it is you actually can end up getting okay points out of some of these kind of rocks that are worthless to most people. And man, once you figure out how to beat all the weird shapes, it's just a walk in the park with a lot of stuff. But this rock is turning into nightmare silica. Look at that. That's concrete. This rock is deciding to rage. Rage, rage. Dang. I'm just having to completely change strategies on the fly with this one. Make sure when you do this, you know, why this is working basically is support big time, but also the speed. You really need to have napped enough to be able to hit the dang spot you want with a vigorous swing. Because if you, on a really, really steep platform like that, if you just glance it with not good contact, it isn't going to do anything. It'd skate off. And you couldn't do that with a much heavier billet unless you're just monstrously strong and can really rapidly accelerate a heavy billet. Now see, that was a thin edge and I knew it. And it had this in there, which is concrete, and so I cut off the back end of it, but oh well. I'm kind of willing to accept that because looks like there was a little crack in there coming in too. But the whole thing about it is, since it did so much good with thinning out that end and everything, it really may end up being kind of helpful, and it gave me a platform I can do some other stuff with. So it does look kind of train wrecky, but I have to be careful of these angles, because see, I was holding that in the middle and hitting on the end, but I'm hitting kind of inward on it, and it's thin, so I'm not really hurting anything. This is just concrete, crappy crap. pushing on it. Make that thing dive. See how it started to blend it in with that for making it dive? Okay. Dang. Went too straight in. Dang. I don't like that concrete. Barely caught it. I'm trying to decide if y'all will concede that I can get a point out of this so I can go on to the next rock. But since you're not actually watching this at this split second and can't respond, I don't know whether I have to prove it or not. This online stuff is complicated. This is more about accuracy because I'm just trying to barely catch on these ends. Somehow though, this you see this concrete layer, it just kind of goes right around here and it's right in there where that is, and it's making it real tough on me. And if I was really trying to do it on my own here, I'd be doing this with indirect on these little, I just had a crack right there and that's dampening the shock too. So that's not helping. Just cut that on the face a little bit. But that's just a little booger right in there. Ah, look at that. Where are you? Where am I? Where are we? Okay. There. That concrete. This is typical, you know, Texas tough, where it gets worse and worse the closer to the middle you get on it. Wasn't wanting to make a whole series of videos on just blanking this one rock. Boy, it got humid all of a sudden. All right, well, at this point, there's no reason in keeping you here just because of my pride in proving I can deal with this crap, because whatever lessons there were in it have already been shown. So, yeah. So, this thing, okay, this is root beer. Let me tell you about Texas root beer. It is not a walk in the park necessarily to get a nice point out of Texas root beer. Of course, it can be done. But some Texas root beer has a thick and evil cortex that is frustrating and annoying to get off. And some Texas root beer is hard you work. Tough, super tough. Break your arm kind of stuff. All right, let's get some of this first. And you say, aren't you going the wrong direction? Yes, but I'm trying to get cortex off so I can hit the right direction. Because hitting cortex does not work well. But see, this cortex is a lot softer than that cortex in that coastal plains. There's just a lot of it. But again, there's not a whole lot of point in hitting with a bopper. See, not much bulb there. Hitting downward. Now I don't want to hit on there because it's too steep. I don't want to use a hammer on there. See that I got a bigger bulb because it wasn't a flat enough angle really. I think I'm getting tired, so because I've been out here for hours, you know, keeping around. That's going to be a pain in the butt if I don't figure that out right there. But I'll figure it out. Okay, so I'm at 17 minutes, so stopping and starting again.